Hello students, today is Friday 20th of September 2019. Today we will try to unfold a few more stories and one very unconventional story which has come from the meeting of the cabinet. The government of India in a cabinet meeting has decided to ban e-cigarettes, and as per the ban, what the government will do in the first place, it will bring an ordinance which will be replaced by an act of parliament. There will be a complete ban on e-cigarette which will include the production, the manufacture, the use of it, the distribution, the transportation, the sale, and even the advertising of the e-cigarette will be banned. Now we need to know in the first place what this e-cigarette is about. E-cigarette is an electronic mechanism for the consumption of the nicotine, or in a way, rather than the conventional cigarettes or the cigars that we normally use, or the bidi that we normally use. So here the tobacco leaves are not used or not burnt, but instead a solution is used which is put in an instrument which is called vape, and the battery is attached. So the vapor comes out and that is inhaled by the person who wants to consume it. Now, how it's different from the regular cigarette, there are two opinions about this. Some people say that this is less harmful, whereas there is another opinion by the medical expert that it is as harmful as the conventional cigarette, and it affects our cardiac system, it also affects our respiratory system. But then there is more to come in this area. But then once the government has decided to ban it, so we have to look into the further the other aspects related to e-cigarette. If we look at the international scenario, then we find that there are 55 countries who have put a ban on this, and there are 42 countries who have restricted the sale of e-cigarettes, and there are 30 countries who have regulated as to up to what level the nicotine is allowed to be consumed. So this means the majority of the country of the world are against e-cigarette. In India, approximately $2 lakh import was done of the e-cigarette during the last 2 financial years. So which is a big number. Last year this case related to e-cigarette also went to the High Court. In fact, what happened, only last year the government of India decided that this e-cigarette should be discouraged. They wrote a letter to the states, following which 15 states put a ban on this. This was challenged in Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court in a judgment lifted the ban done by the government on the ground that this is not like cigarette and there are no harmful effects involved in it. In fact, that was the point where government of India decided to bring a separate law to put a ban on e-cigarette. There are other aspects also related to this, and particularly the economic aspect. E-cigarettes are a kind of product where tobacco is not being used. So this is affecting the countries which bank on tobacco, or where the farmers are banking on tobacco. Like in India, there are 36 million people who are either farming the tobacco or having some employment related to tobacco. And in India, if we look at where the tobacco is produced, so the states which are included are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, then West Bengal, then Assam, then Gujarat, then Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, all these states are there. And it is not that only India is affected by the e-cigarette economically. There are other countries of the world which are producing tobacco in a big way, which include Nepal, Sri Lanka, Thailand, and even Mexico and Brazil. So that is how this is a big issue. Let us see what will happen once the government decides to bring a law in parliament. There is another important story which is coming again from the state of Jammu and Kashmir. If we look into the freedom or the liberty of the citizens, so since the time on 5th of August, the clampdown was imposed in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. In the first 2 weeks, not much happened on the legal front, but afterwards there are 260 habeas corpus that have been filed before the Srinagar bench of Jammu and Kashmir High Court. And two things I would like to mention here. On 16th of August, in a case in the Supreme Court, the next senior most judge, Justice Bobde, said that he has talked to Justice Geeta Mittal, who is the Chief Justice in Jammu and Kashmir High Court, and she has told that this landline, etc., everything is in order. Again, on 16th of September, Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi said in the court that he has asked Chief Justice of Jammu and Kashmir High Court Geeta Mittal to submit a report whether people are finding it convenient to approach the High Court. But even after that, now this report is coming to 62 habeas corpus are lying in High Court, and they are held up at different stages. Either they are held up in the registry, or they are held up at the admission level or the listing level, but the High Court is not seen too keen to taking up these habeas corpus. So really this is a big question mark on the public liberty in India. That is all in today's edition.